Bring me when the day, show me how the sun shines. Tell me about your heartache, who could be so unkind? Do you dream and touch me, smile way down deep inside? Or could you just kill me, baby? Yeah. Talk, make up your mind sometime. My angel, my devil, there's a thorn in my pride. My angel and the devil, baby, thorn in my pride, yeah. Yes, it is. Wanting inspiration, yeah, you spill your secrets on me. You tell me with a whisper, ooh, of things that'll never be. Do you hear me breathing? Yeah, baby, does it make you just wanna scream? Ever like a bad dream? Yeah, sometimes you know this life is a scene. You know what I mean, baby? Ain't it? Devil, and alone in my pride. My angel and the devil, and alone in my pride. Yeah, the angel and the devil, and I got them both in my mind. Yeah. Get my angel, get my devil, and alone in my pride. Dig it. Love on me. Love like shine, yeah. Say, lover, come on, cover me with a good dream. And said, let that love like shine.
ashes from the embers of old flames. I lost my way and then my hope, and now I'm hoping to lose my shame. All for one, free for all. They say that no two ever fall the same. Over bridges made of ashes, may we all return from where we came. Over ample waves of gain to a purple mountain jamboree, where we always break out in handcuffs from overexposure to the heat. There ain't gonna be no tent city shakedown. Holding my window with its sail. I'm gonna change my mind in no time. I'm gonna be back schoolside, riding the rail. All for one, free for all. I'm calling all the great unwashed over bridges made of ashes. May we all return to from where we're lost. Over ample waves of gain to a purple mountain jamboree, where we always break out in handcuffs from overexposure to the heat. All for begging for change in the street. We're begging for change in the street. Begging for change. In the beginning, man wondered to himself, he said, why are we even here? And yet with each asking of this question, the answer would become even less clear. Overwhelmed by fear, it seemed that distraction would take its place, and so it must have been in the world's first shelter that we began the human race. The human race to fill up more and more empty space, and oh, how we loved the human race. Until one day this one guy says to this other guy, he says, hey man, you see this guy over here? Seems like he got more than anybody else ever got, man. To me, that just doesn't seem fair. Well, the second guy agreed with the first guy. Everybody else did too. Hell, they all got so worked up that they figured they knew what they needed to do. They was gonna divide all his shit up among each other. After they killed him, of course. For they could see no real good reason not to just take whatever they wanted to by force. But when they found him, he said, hey, wait a minute, fellas. I wouldn't kill me just now. You can see that I got more than any of you ever got. Couldn't you at least first like to know how? And with that, he had their attention. And with that, he went on loud and clear. He said, you all know how long we have always wondered. We wondered why are we here? Well, today I'm going to tell you all about that. I'm going to teach you about suffering and bliss. I'm going to teach you all about a heaven and a hell and a God that gave me all of this. You see, God gave me all this because I'm humble. And he can do the same for you too. But if you are seeking his love and affection, I'll tell you what you are doing. That is the last thing I do. You know, God sends killers to a place called hellfire. Both here and then again eternally. And the good, they live forever in a beautiful heaven. God told me that personally. So unless you want struggle and heartache, unless you want troubles and fear, you better find some kind of way to help me clean up around here. Maybe I could pay you just a little bit of money for it, but more importantly, the good Lord would see. He would see that you was working humbly for something, and he would reward you the way that he has rewarded me. Well, nobody knew what to do with that information, nor could they prove that what he was saying wasn't true. And since he had what everybody else thought they wanted, Lord, it seemed like the thing to do. And so with that, we've rolled into this future, and ain't it a son of a bitch? To think that we would still need religion to keep the poor from killing the rich. Ooh-wee. Who you gonna trust if you don't trust me? Ooh-wee. Who you gonna trust if you can't trust me? I say that again now. And you can't. Good evening, my fellow travelers. Or shall I say this afternoon? It would behoove me audaciously at this juncture in the inauguration to declare this particular congregation the single largest amalgamation of any one particular nation's population to receive an invitation to a situation of such enduring magnitude. Forthwith and notwithstanding any misunderstood grandstanding as it would pertain to the expansion of our national tantrum in such a grand and or irrational fashion that I would implore you to explore a more tangible interpretation of our anthem, the likes of which we could plausibly take platinum if you would turn with me and you will in the book of verbatim, botherations ad nauseatum. Ain't that some bullshit? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that some? When you allow good men to die for your freedom, only later to recall them as having fought for your flag, well, that is some bullshit. Henceforth and not fourscore and way too many more years before the last first responder ever forgot to remember 7/11 untoward a more perfect reunion of our most effervescent endeavor to linger here forever with or without the express written content of any nationally resented softball league's best politically motivated preconditioned intentions to lure your children away from these lives of crime that they are leading out on the streets and lead them to lives of crime that would be taking place indoors. Lives of collusion, the likes of which this country's never seen before, depending on what your definition of the word is. If I'm elected, I never said none of that shit. Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that but some bullshit? You know the rest. Let's see here. What else am I going to do for the fine people today? I'm so glad to see you. I don't know if we're still talking about the crazy news. Did you guys hear about O.J. Simpson? Yeah, fucking killed his wife. And then when they came to get him, you hear about this too? They killed the guy that was there with her. And then when they came to get him, he took off in his car. It was on TV. It was like, anyway. We can't stop talking about it. There's a number off our LP that we call Peace Queer. It's me and Eric McConnell on the cover of that. I had made up 2 albums worth of songs, and I couldn't decide which album I liked. And my manager, Bert Stein, who's just been a great friend to me my whole life, or my whole, ever since he's been in my life. And this record was his idea. The whole Peace Queer record, I was like, I don't know how to divide these songs up or what to do with them. And he's the one that said, well, don't throw none of them out. Just make this Peace Queer record. This song, what was I telling you? It's pretty obvious once you hear it. Well. A pedal falls from a dying road. Through the wind it blows through fate. While down below the ground there grows another rose that can hardly wait. Well, my uncle finally died of a heart attack. Bursting with pride, he was way overweight. There was hardly anybody at the funeral beside the one who thought they might divide his estate. Well, the preacher couldn't tell us everything he did, but he said every kind thing that he could. Mostly focusing on long ago when he was just a kid and his intentions had all been so good. Well, a pedal falls from a dying road. Into the wind it's gonna blow through fate. While down below the ground there grows another rose that can hardly wait. Well. My mother said when he was younger he was skinnier and kinder and funnier and humble as a white picket fence. As he got older, he got fatter, left his wife for something younger, started showing up here drunk and making less and less sense. Less and less sense. A pedal falls from a dying road. Into the wind it blows through fate. While down below the ground there grows another rose that can hardly wait. My Uncle Sammy finally died of a heart attack. Bursting with pride, he was way overweight. So through the eye of a needle on a camel's back, the American dream has hit the pearly gate. Through the eye of a needle on a camel's back, the American dream hits the pearly gate. I just want to testify what your love has done for me. When it's colder than fuck out here in our town. You can't talk to me like that, boss. I don't care who you are. If you don't wanna have to hang your own drywall, or you don't wanna push me too far. Boomtown work, it ain't so hard to come by. Boomtown workers are You might be the one that's a running the show, but oh, that don't always mean you're in charge. I was looking for a job when I found this one. I don't need to work like you need to work done. You looking like you're under pressure. I was looking for a job when I met you. I'm sharing a room with 2 guys over at the Motel 6, boss. Send every dime I make here home to my ex-wife. I just did 2 years and 28 days with a little better aim, though I would have been there for my whole life. So you see, broke ain't gonna take me too much getting used to, and neither will no barbed wire, the jailhouse war. Watch what you say to someone with nothing. It's almost like having it all. I was looking for a job when I found this one. I don't need it working like you need the work done. You looking like you're under pressure. I was looking for a job when I met you, baby. To get us a job like your job, chief. One of them jobs where I just drive around all day and check up on guys like me. Yelling from the window of my pickup truck with my AC cranked up and my clothes all nice and clean. I sound like that might be alright, boss. Lord, that might be alright, boss. Yeah, that might be alright. On the other hand, though, on the other hand, was looking for a job when I found this one. I don't need to work like you need this work done. You looking like you're under pressure. I was looking for a job when I met you. Yeah, man. I made that up with Elvis, who was alive and well in Michigan. All right. You know, I can see myself when we do this. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Look at the set, too. Well, see, it's hard to figure out what, like, I'm backwards. See, I'm pointing at the piano. I'm getting the hang of this show business. Anybody else got anything they want to hear? No? Terrific. I'll just plow on ahead with my plan. I really have gotten used to these. I like that part. It's kind of fun not having y'all here. I'm going to look forward to getting back out there to see everybody, though. My favorite part is walking up and down Something to Do Street, especially in the day. You'll meet someone that's come in early for the show or something. Yeah. I'll play a couple songs in a row. That explore the same theme, I should say. They named that goddamn kiss-ass handleman vice president of human resources or something. He stood up and made a speech about how we would all have to work even harder now. I thought harder now, harder at what I would give anything to get up and walk out of here, but I'm stuck on a corner of sanity and madness, looking them over. Can't see no difference. We're making money out of paper, the paper out of trees, making so much money we can hardly breathe. I didn't even, you ought to hear the shit I get from my daughter. She says that she can't stand the sight of the car I bought her. Gonna ruin her life for her, she don't ride no rag top. Her and her mother spend my money pretty much non-stop. They're trying to break me for the sake of this neighborhood. They want everybody up and down the street to think we're doing good, but stuck on the corner of sanity and madness. Looking him over, I can't see no difference. We's making money out of paper, but paper out of trees, making so much money we can hardly breathe. Now I say I don't even want to study economics. My parents made me cause they said it would be practical. I can't make my kid do a goddamn thing I tell him to. That kid's an unrepentant radical. He is as unimpressed by these plaques in my cubicle as I'm secretly impressed with his ability to look at everything so completely irresponsibly. I'm stuck on the corner of sanity and madness. I'm looking him over, can't see no difference. We're making money out of paper, paper out of tree, making so much money we can hardly breathe. You know now I've got to call that little pecker Mr. Handelman. I drove home from work as mad as I'd ever been, and then I nearly jerked this kid out of a drive-through window. He said, will that be everything? I said, what the fuck would you know? You are looking at a man that is about to buy a little girl ragtop. What are you driving, a bicycle? You little fucking punk. I'm stuck on the corner, sanity and madness. Oh Lord, I'm looking them over, can't see no difference. Making money out of paper, paper out of trees. We're making so much money, Lord God, we're making so much money. I say we're making so much money we can hardly breathe. Yeah. So much. And then we'll talk to you after a while, but I just feel like picking this morning. I come from not far from here, a long time ago. Spent years on the mountain before they even built this town below. I had a place on the ridge with a view for miles around, until the day those men came up and dragged me into town. I said, ooh, Lord, it was a shame the way they treated me. Ooh, Lord, it was a crying shame. It was a shame the way they treated me. Back in town, they beat me down so bad, I passed into something else. When I woke, I looked around, I couldn't even recognize myself. I was completely covered in useless information anybody looking could see. Stuck in the back of a truck with a rubber band stuck around what's left of me. Next thing I know, I'm thrown in a yard where I wait a while, and then this old man walks out in a bathrobe, picks me up and walks me back in. And he freed me from that rubber band all right, but then in what seemed just like a flash, he glanced me over once, and then he threw me in the trash. That's how I ended up here on this landfill lying around, waiting for this big old pile of garbage we're on to work its way back under the ground, where I hope to grow up tall again, maybe even right here on this very spot. That might seem like a pipe dream to you, but dollface, that's all I got. Ooh, it was a shame what they did to me. Ooh, it was a crying shame. It was a shame the way they treated me. You see, man seems to think the world is made for him, and that might be true. But there is a crack in every sidewalk where the grass breaks through. I said, you know what I'm saying, mama? Stick with me. Someday you'll have it made in the shade of a tree. Oh, someday you'll have it made in the shade of a tree. Someday you'll have it made in the shade, baby. Someday you'll have it made in the shade. Yeah, man. I wanted to play that. I'm gonna play the banjo now for a while. This song I made up with Will years and years ago. And Will got a really cool record out right now. Also, man, I heard Sierra Farrell's record the other day. Ooh, Lord, it's going to be the first one she ever made. Remember who told you about Sierra Farrell? Yeah, man, I'm trying to think of stuff to say. I just don't feel like talking as much today. I'd like to just play some songs, but I'll think of something, I suppose. But most of these songs, I feel like I've played them a few times. I'm looking forward to getting back out there and playing them, and we can all sing them together. Contrary to what I was saying earlier. Well, I served as sailor even back in 81. Well, I can't say I'm sorry. I volunteered for what I'd done. We trained and we waited. No, we could not be outdone. And then one day, 6 battleships come out of that rising sun. So we all manned our station. Yeah, we packed a jug of wine. We waited, they're patient. Lord, waiting for a sign. The first thunder, then lightning, and then screaming in my ear. I can still hear that screaming even after all of these years. Cape Henry, you were a battlefield on fire. Long water, white water, with the flame climbing higher. We fired our cannon at least 2 hours more. Cape Henry, off of that old Virginia shore. Well, our deck was in tatters, smoke was thick and black. For each shot we fired 2 right back. And then I felt my shoulder, something knocked me down. The last I remember was that water all around. Well, I woke up in Richmond with a medal on my chest. Well, I know that I earned it 'cause I know I did my best. Lord, we did lose that battle, but I heard we'd won the war. So I headed back home and I awaited my reward. Singing Cape Henry was a battlefield on fire. Long water, white water, with them flames climbing higher. We fired our cannon at least 2 hours more. Cape Henry, off of that old Virginia shore. I plow this man field now from morning until night. Well, that war took my left arm. I'm working with my right. I guess I must have fought for the freedom of a richer man up north. Well, I still fight for something. Well, his plow goes back and forth. Cape Henry, battlefield on fire. On the water, white water, with them flames climbing higher. We fired our cannon for at least 2 hours more. Cape Henry, off of that old Virginia shore. Yeah, on the plaque they said that they had this war, they had a battle that everybody stood on the shore and watched, and that these 2 ships were just set apart from each other for a long time. They said they were just sitting up there getting drunk and getting ready to do it. And then, boom, they started firing each other. And then they said it was a big fire on the wall. Both the boats caught fire. I don't think the battle went well for anyone. So that's your history. We have a new record coming out now. There's 10 songs on it. And there's a whole album of outtakes, I think, on it. We filmed it all. So there's a little fun movie that goes with it. What else? And it comes out in April, right? Gonna be terrific. I can really feel it. This is the one, you guys. You never know who's out there. That's what the hardworking Americans used to say before we go on. This could be the night, you guys. You never know who's out there. All right, so what are we doing now? Oh. A lot of people haven't given me credit for playing the blues on the banjo. But I just think the media is against me. But people who know that playing the blues on the banjo was at one time considered impossible up until very recently when for those of you at home that haven't heard this, I started off making this up based on the notion that blues songs, often the second line is the same as the first line. And often it starts off by they say they woke up this morning and then something went to shit. And then they say that again, because it's that shit. Well, it was morning, and I realized, I repeat myself, I said, I woke up in the morning, and I realized, I repeat myself, I said, I woke up in the morning. They say 1 and 1 is 2. Lord, I've got my suspicions. I believe it may well be another one of these crazy old religious superstitions. Would you believe that the same financial institution backing both sides of every war since before the French Revolution, still running the Federal Reserve and all but just a small handful of nations? Why, it is a paperclip operation by even the most reasonable explanation. It may well be the single longest, widest Bronco chase in the history of the conspiracy of television is all I'm saying. It's 1 for the money, and it's 2 for the money. 3 for the money, and 4 for even more and more money. It's like the seventh wonder was saying in seventh heaven, watching the seventh building fall on 9/11. This is Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, L7 Communications. These are the major corporations selling weapons of mass destruction under the false flag of my protection from the shadow branch of a government still addicted to untold commercialization. Why, it would seem easy to me to see how somebody could just wake up one morning and come to the Richard Lewis-like conclusion and or realization that there was absolutely no hope left whatsoever for even the slightest portion of our entire civilization. So zippity doo dah, motherfucker. Zippity yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful case of the blues I'm experiencing today, while the air in my hotel has been conditioned in just such a way. Seems like every single note I ask this priceless banjo mind to play takes the unmistakable sounds of my pains and my sorrows and makes them sound like some kind of an unbearable hope for tomorrow. And that's not me, man. That's not who I am, you know. We mistake desperate people for the devil all the time. So ain't no way of knowing what kind of deal it was that I actually signed, but it was my understanding that I would be the single greatest blues guitarist in the world by now. And to the contrary, I'm not. In fact, I'm just another fucking schmick out here waiting around to get shot in another sad addition to an already sorry state of affairs, with another set of politicians taken to the top of another set of courthouse stairs. You know, you're out of ideas when you get down to your thoughts and your prayers. That's all they got down here for you this evening, down here on these courthouse stairs. Lonely, they're sending out their thoughts and their prayers. They're sending out their thoughts and their prayers for you. They're sending out their thoughts and their prayers. I woke up this morning, my milk cow was melting. Got the blues on the banjo. I made a set list today, too. I just was in the mood to do this. Felt like... What? Why you guys don't know? Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Is this thing on? In the hallway of high school, anywhere USA, was a bully picking on different kids, seemed like every day. A pack of backslapping buddies, laughing and backing him all the way. Screaming girlfriend, making, believing everything he would say. Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Well, then one day this kid that he'd beat up a bunch of time before, he realized to his own surprise that he could indeed take more. And with that, he hatched the evil plan, gonna make that devil pay. Walked up to him in the middle of the gym and he found the nerve to say, if you're gonna hit somebody today, you're gonna have to hit me too. In fact, you gonna hit me every day, cause now I'm picking on you. As crazy as that might sound right now, I ain't stopping till I get through. Too late to beg for mercy, there ain't nothing that you can do. Lord, is this thing working? Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Well, that bully, he just laughed and laughed, of course. So did all of his friends. Beat that kid unmercifully for days and days on end. Only slightly less impressively to that girl and all of his friends. Eventually they would secretly start hoping that kid might win. Lord, is this thing working? Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Hear him say this, but he think we don't know. Winning that battle every day cost our bully the war a long time ago. And of all the scars he's got to show for every blow that kid sneaks in, the worst one's knowing that tomorrow he's gonna have to fight that kid again. Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Oh, is it working? Is this thing on? Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Helicopters over my house again. They got these projects 2 or 3 blocks from here. They pull these kids over for driving while African, and the ones ain't got no warning, always running in fear. I sit here waiting for the coast to clear, wishing once again I had a gun around here. I turn on my news, what do I hear? Some kids shot the bank up on Gallatin Road. They ran away from the cops while they're trying to reload. Beat them up to East Street on feet. Now he's probably reloaded and running down my street. I better turn my alarm on and lock myself in. Helicopters over my house again sometime. You gonna rise above it sometime. You gonna sneak below somewhere in between believing in heaven and facing the devil you know. Poor kid probably never had a chance to give a fuck. He would know good luck from a debutante. He's got to find a way to be Steve McNair, a young bucker. He's tough luck, looking for a prison to haunt. And you can fuck getting any kind of job you want, unless you really want to work in a fast food restaurant. And who wants to do that? Do you want to do that? I wouldn't trade that for my crooked hat, or my gang, or my gun, or my waist full of pagers, for a job deep frying shit for teenagers. If that's where it's at, and no one gonna help, how you gonna blame a kid from helping himself? There is a war going on, the poor can't win. Helicopters over my house again sometime. You gonna rise above it? Yes, sometime. You gonna sneak below somewhere in between believing in heaven and facing the devil you know. Black and white cops shining lights in the bushes. I can't see how this kid is gonna get very far, unless he find a way to make it back over to Berry Street, and he can't do that unless he steals a car. The way things are, Lord, it don't seem right. It's always white people talking about some hope and some light. There ain't no hope in Sam Levy, there's just guns and drugs. We ain't building bridges, we just training thugs. And then I hear this terrifying kick at my back door. In walks this kid, I say, oh, I've seen this kid before. I see him all the time at that bar on Woodland Street. Now he's bleeding in my kitchen, tracking blood on his feet. And he's looking at me like I'm gonna help him or die, until he sees in my eyes that I'm on his side. I hand him my keys, I say, you better move fast. There is a J in the ashtray and plenty of gas. He throws me the cash, he says, I'll be back for this. I say, yeah, well, don't be surprised if there's a little bit of it missing. His gold teeth that glisten with big old grin. He said, we're gonna talk about that when I see you again. He shook my hand, shook his back. I felt like I was about to have a heart attack, until he finally drove away. I thought, God damn, helicopters over my house again sometime. You rise above it. Sometime you're gonna sink below somewhere in between believing in your heaven and facing the devil you know. All right now, you're facing the devil you know. Devil you know. I made that up. There was over here in East Nashville, a lot of the time there'd be helicopters hovering over your house. You knew that meant somebody had just done something fucked up. On that night, cops were on the ground too everywhere. And I sat down and I typed all that out in one try. I'm trying to talk, but you can tell I'm just not in the mood. I want to just sing. Last call, last dime. You know you generalize all the time. I hate to tell you, but your slip is showing, and I would hate to see you walk around not knowing. Oh, I know I say how I ran away, but we both know how it's just talk. At the end of the day, who would run away? Who would run away if they knew they could walk? It was easy, too easy to do. If you ever walk out on me, babe, I'm coming after you. Broken people can't be stopped or saved. We're like hurricanes and tidal waves. We leave a little mark on you like, oh, so what? So does lipstick around the sidewalk end up a cigarette butt. Oh, oh, you know, lately you don't even call me half of the time when you tell me you will. You know they could bury this town into the cold ground before they would ever slow down at a rumor mill. It just churns and churns while every other couple shutting down. Till I hear from you, I'll have to listen to what's going wrong. There's nothing in this world that I would rather do than roll around forever in some kind of a heaven with you. If there ain't no heaven, well, that'll be alright too. Well, no, it won't, but what are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Baby, just call me once in a while. When you tell me you will, you know they could bury this town into the cold ground before they'd ever slow down that rumor mill. It just churns and churns, another every other couple down. Until I hear from you, I'm gonna listen to what's going around. Yeah, until I hear from you, I've got to listen to what's going wrong. Gray cloud rolling over my head. I'm walking up a hill to get my fortune read. I can still take rejection, but it's getting harder to do. I wish I could show you how you hurt me in a way that wouldn't hurt you too. The tennis shoes hanging from your telephone wire. I've got a little money, I could get a little higher. It was alright for a while, but you know how that goes. Everything in moderation, including moderation, I suppose. I never did like the people where I was employed. They were always out to get me 'cause I'm paranoid. Now I'm working for myself, and that don't pay no lousy dime. If what we are here to do is learn to forgive, I'm gonna need more time. Too soon to tell, too soon to tell. It's too soon to tell. By and by, Lord, it's too soon to tell what's gonna happen to you when you die. It's too soon to tell what we will ever avenge. They said that living well is the best revenge. I say bullshit. Best revenge is revenge. This isn't over, we're gonna meet again. And then I said, Lord, if you're still up there, you have sure got some nerve. It seems like even the wicked, we get worse than we deserve. We're afraid to die. Every goddamn one of us. I swear to God, it's like you're making fun of us, not worth keeping, or too good to keep. If you've got a better secret, better keep it from me. And if you're so God Almighty, well, what's with all this mystery? Yes, I would love to trust you, buddy, but you're clearly keeping secrets from me. Too soon to tell. Too soon to tell. Too soon to tell. By and by. Oh Lord, it's too soon to tell what's going to happen to us when we're dead. Was at the fortune tellers up there on the second floor. In bright red letters hanging right there off of her door, it said closed. I think it might have been a sign. Oh, come on now. Don't give up on me, baby. Come on, that's funny. I'm just losing my mind, but that's all. I've just met too many people. I love them all too much. They're scattered all over this whole country. I can never possibly stay in touch with them, man. I travel. That's what I do. I travel all the time. You're gonna wake up one of these mornings, a lot more memories than dreams. Yeah, you're gonna wake up one of these mornings, a lot more memories than dreams. Too soon to tell. Too soon to tell. Too soon to tell. By and by. Lord, it's too soon to tell what won't happen to you when you die. Low gray clouds rolling over my head. I'm walking down this hill without my fortune read. I can still take rejection, but damn. I wish I could show you how you hurt me in a way that wouldn't hurt you too. Yet I wish I could show you how you hurt me in a way that wouldn't hurt you too. Well, I hope you're having a good time. We're gonna I'm not gonna stop yet, but we got the big game. Yeah. And also, if I'm on the road and you come see me, sometimes I just don't talk a lot. It bums everybody out, I guess, but how you gonna like it? You know? It just isn't what it is. But, you know, sometimes I just feel more like playing the songs. And next time you see me, sometimes I'll babble a little more. I always stand up, usually, too, if you come see me and when we get back out there, if we get back out there. We could do interactive song requests. Let's do that. Yeah, ask me some questions so I don't just clam up the whole time. Yeah, give me a question. Yes. 17. Does that answer any of them? What's the first one? Come on. Do a personal, tough one. Oh, okay. Oh, no one's even asked? Jesus. Huh? Oh, there's too many. See, that's how they do in Spinal Tap. This audience is a little more selective. I got a lot of pain in me, Darlene. You know, if you haven't seen the story of Dewey Cox, that's it. You know what I like to recommend people is Alan Watts. So. If the morning never come, I don't give a damn. If the morning never come, I ain't gonna be afraid to meet my maker just the way I am. Can't prove anything, but one thing is sure true. If you can steal from me, I could steal from you. They say any kind of heaven that everybody doesn't get in, well, ain't gonna seem like no heaven to me. Yeah, they tell you that the Garden of Eden was perfect, but you couldn't even eat off the apple tree. And for heaven's sake, you had to watch that snake lying to your woman constantly. Adam must have scratched his head, looked up to heaven and said, Lord, this ain't doing it for me. If tomorrow never comes, tonight is all I got. If tomorrow never comes, I don't want to be afraid to meet my maker just the way that I'm not. Can't do anything and then you die. If I judge the judgmental, then what am I? Either way, I'm every guy I never tried to be. I want everything as good as it gets. I've learned nothing but that there's another sunrise coming all but one. Other times it sets, I said I don't ever claim to know what's going on around here. I don't even know where I'm from. I know where I'm going when I get to where I'm going, what I'm doing when I get done. They tell me I'm forgiven if I try to be. I said permission should have come so easily. I'm piling cores up underneath this apple tree. I singing, oh Lordy, have mercy on me. If tomorrow never comes, tonight is all I got. And if tomorrow never comes, I don't wanna be afraid to meet my maker just the way that I'm not. All good people, we could work in perfect rhythm. If worms had daggers, birds wouldn't fuck with them. And that's just simple math there. I can't end on this note though. This show, what time is it though? I don't know if you guys are into football, but you know, I enjoy it when the Titans are doing it. We have the best guy. He's got a big dreadlock, just one big fucking one. He runs everybody over and shoves them with his hand. What time? Noon. It's noon now? Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up for you cats. Oh, we'll do an encore though, you know, maybe we could pause it or something. Root for our team. Okay, listen, also, I wanted to say, my buddy Jack Ingram, one of his main heroes, and somebody I've always admired too is a guy named Ed Bruce. And he wrote, we lost him at the age of 81 this week. I didn't know him, but here, one of his songs, he wrote this song with his wife. And I always thought this song was so, perfect. I have a few songs I consider perfect, like The Gambler, Bobby McGee, and this is just one of them. I guess I get that from a guy named Kent Finley. He used to have a house out in Martindale, Texas, where just everybody would sit around and play songs, and then we'd take a break from playing them to listen to them. And this is a song that I've never forgotten and always loved. And the words, it's like people forget these words. It's like, cowboys ain't easy to love, and they're harder to hold. Damn. They'd rather give you a song than diamonds or gold. Lone Star belt buckles and old faded Levi's, and each night begins a new day. If you don't understand him and he don't die young, he'll probably just ride away. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Don't let them pick guitars and drive them old trucks. Let them be doctors and lawyers and such. I said, Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Well, they'll never stay home and they're always alone, even with someone they love. Cowboys like smoky old pool rooms and clear mountain mornings. They're like little warm puppies and children and girls of the night. Them that don't know him don't like him, and them that do sometimes don't know how to take him. He ain't wrong, he's just different, but his heart won't let him do things to make you think he's right. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Don't let them them pick guitars and drive them old trucks. Let them be doctors and lawyers and such. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. They'll never stay home and they're always alone, even with someone they love. They'll never stay home and they're always alone, even with someone they love. All right, y'all, tune in next week. I wish you the best week. And, yeah, good. Hope you enjoyed it today. Thank you for attending the latest service of the First Agnostic Church of Hope and Wonder. We hope to see you next weekend. If you had not have fallen, well, I would not have found you. Angel flying too close to the ground. I patched up your broken wings. You hung around a while, kept your spirits up and your fever down. I knew someday that you would fly away, for love's the greatest healer to be found. So leave me if you need to. I will always remember. Angel flying too close to the ground. Fly on, fly on, past the speed of sound. I would rather see you up than see you down. So leave me if you need to. I will always remember. Angel flying too close to the ground. Angel flying too close to the ground. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Life I love is making music with my friend. Well, I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love, what am I doing wrong? On the road again. All right, well, went too far. I always got to go a bridge too far. Take your time. Tell me slow. Shall I stay? Well, we both know you thought you knew what I was just about to say, and you did not know, but you always think you do. Let me tell you something, baby. I've been looking back over my shoulder. It's not you that I got to blame. If I could do all this all over, I would do nothing the same. Seemed like the right thing at the time. Lord, it seemed like the right thing at the time. Oh, 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 Lord, I tried to remember. Lord, it helped me forget. The older I get, the older I get, the more I worry. That the more I worry, the older I will get. And yet I still worry about that. Ain't that about a son of a bitch, I'll tell you. Some guys can't take no for an answer. Some guys can't take yes for an answer. I can't say for sure how I ended up here this evening, but if I had to guess, I guess I would give this for an answer. I'd say, seemed like the right thing at the time. Lord, it seemed like the right thing at the time. Oh, 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 oh. Trying to find some kind of way that I'm gonna cope. I've got to admit to myself that it ain't so much the despair that gets me as it is the hope. God, I always hope. I'll tell you something. When I found myself in possession of these car keys, I was nearly soon knocking down. Seemed like the right thing at the time. Lord, it seemed like the right thing at the time. Oh, 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 oh. Well, Roger said he never met a man he didn't like. Well, let me back up and make sure that I got that right. He might have liked every man he ever met, that's true. Well, he never said he liked every man that he knew. Whoa, whoa. Said I met a woman with the Midas touch. I could never get her to touch very much. I met a man of opportunity. He never offered any of it up to me. Met a soldier in a recruit booth. Said he'd make a man out of me and stole my youth. Working for a man and not stop lying. Drove us off a cliff and called it flying. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, that ain't flying. When a wise man flies, he understands that a man has not technically flown until he lands. If you're coming into land and you crash and you die, all you really did was you get too high. You ever get too high? You ever get too high? You ever get too high? No, neither have I, but I will if I got to prove to you, guy. So turn around like a common pariah, fight for peace, like screaming for quiet. Oh, 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 oh. I said I don't know, but I've been told might meet a little fox in an atheist hole. I said, I don't know, but I've been told might meet a little fox in your atheist hole. Y'all be kind to each other, and I'll see you back here next week for the get-together. Is everybody ready for the get-together? If I live fancy free, I love to wander. That's just the gypsy in my soul. There's something calling me way over yonder. That's just the gypsy in my soul. There's something calling me way over yonder. That's just the gypsy in my soul. No cares, no string. My heart just sing. No string, no string. My heart has a wing. There's something calling me way over yonder. Oh, that's just the gypsy in my soul. Don't forget to tip your neighbors.